All right, let's go now to a press conference in LA County. We're getting an update on these fires from county and public safety officials. Let's listen in.
All of your continued support. As the increasing wind event is upon us as we speak, the Los Angeles City Fire Department has maximized our resource capabilities and response capabilities. All available LAFD resources have been staffed. I have strategically pre-positioned engine strike teams and task forces which are dedicated to rapid response for any new fire that breaks out in the city. In addition, I've directed the Fire Prevention Bureau to augment wildfire patrols in high hazard areas. The Palisades fire. Your LAFD remains committed to this fire, and we have a significant number of engines that have been dedicated to this fire. The crews that are involved, we have crews from up and down the state, outside of the state, have made excellent work overnight, mopping up flare-ups and hotspots. Their primary focus last night was on the Mandeville Canyon area, and this fire is now at 23,713 acres with 14% containment, with 5,123 personnel assigned to the Palisades incident. Firefighters will continue to work diligently throughout the day to increase containment and prevent further fire spread. Again, I want to focus my comments on the amount of resources that are here in the Palisades, from the first responders all the way up to our incident command teams. Again, we're going to keep working really hard for you. Just a brief comment on the Hearst fire. It's been held to 799 acres with 95% containment. Again, thank you to the community members that are out there for remaining vigilant. We are not in the clear. I want to make sure of that. We are not in the clear as of yet, and we must not let our guard down. As we have right now extreme fire behavior, and we need to make sure that the community is staying updated with the most information, updated information as well. Follow all evacuation warnings and orders without delay. And please stay safe. I would now like to introduce our next speaker, and that is Sheriff Luna. Thank you.
Robert Luna, Sheriff of Los Angeles County. Regarding our deployment, we still have well over 1,000 of our Los Angeles County deputies out there working on 12-hour shifts. We have 172 California Highway Patrol officers. I'd like to thank the commissioner who was with me yesterday, Sean DeRee, for all of his assistance. I also want to thank Major General Beavers. I was with him as well, and he has fortunately been able to increase the amount of National Guard assistance that he is giving us to up to 600. And he told me yesterday if we need more, we can ask for more, and we are strategically looking at that, analyzing it, and will ask as needed. Evacuations, we have approximately, and this is some good news because it's dropped, we have over 92,000 people who are under evacuation orders and approximately 89,000 people who are under evacuation warnings. I want our community to know this, and Chief Maroney did talk about this for a second. In every conversation we're having about evacuations, warnings, whether they're going to implement them or take them away, the conversation about repopulation is on all of our minds. I know that we are attending, staff's attending community meetings, whether they be out in the Palisades fire area in Malibu for us at LA County Sheriff's, in the Altadena area. We are hearing our community loud and clear, and we want to get you in there as soon as possible. But I want to reiterate what is holding us up. This is very important. We are still, for the Altadena area, we are in the third day of grid searching. It is a very grim task, and we, unfortunately, every day we're doing this, we're running across the remains of individual community members. That is not easy work, very sad to report, and I believe that work is not only going to continue, but I believe will continue to find remains. So please be patient with us. People are saying, I just want to go look at my house and I want to see what's left. We know that, but we have people literally looking for the remains of your neighbors. Please be patient with us. There's a lot of hazards in the area still. The area has not been rendered safe. Please be patient with us. And then we have the potential of crime scenes. And I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying we have to think ahead because we can't go back from that. So please be patient with us. The curfew is still in effect, 6 p.m. To 6 a.m. for specifically the mandatory evacuation areas in both the Palisades impacted area and the Eaton fire impacted areas. Those are subject to change depending on need, one way or another. We understand, again, that people want to go back, but it is dangerous to do so, and we will not put anybody's safety at risk. I want to talk about arrest for the LA County Sheriff's area. Overnight, we had several other arrests. It brings it up to a total of 34 in our geographic area. We have 30 in the Eaton fire area, and we have 4 in the Palisades area. Last night specifically, again, for LA County Sheriff's jurisdiction, we arrested 4. 2 were for curfew violations. 2 were arrested for 1 drone incident. To my knowledge, we have now had 2 specific drone incidents that have resulted in 3 arrests. So as I talk to our community again, if you do not have business in the evacuation areas, do not go there. Please, you're infringing upon the work that our first responders need to attend to. And I do want to say, when I talk about these arrests, I want to clarify not all of them are for burglary or looting or for curfew violations. But it is very important when I say stay out, we are arresting people who are not supposed to be there, who do not live there, who are in possession of narcotics. We've arrested several with guns. And yeah, I'm going to tell you something. If our deputies being very proactive in these areas, stopping people in a constitutional manner as always, making sure that they're supposed to be there and you have narcotics on you and you have a gun on you, in police work we call that a clue, something's wrong there. So that's why we're arresting people. Our search and rescue missions, through the 2 days, we have searched 1,874 properties. In regards to deaths, and again, I want to clarify, this is for the Los Angeles County area of responsibility. We have confirmed 21 deaths, 16 in the Eaton fire area, and 5 in the Palisades area. And sadly, yes, unfortunately, I anticipate the number to go up. Missing persons, we are actively, have 23 active missing persons reported, 17 in the Eaton fire area, 6 in the Malibu area. All of them are adults. Thank God there's no juveniles. But if you believe you have somebody who's missing, make sure you report that to us as soon as possible. For any updated information that anybody may have, questions, very important questions regarding evacuation orders or warnings, or any road closures, please go to lacounty.gov/emergency for assistance. The American Red Cross is doing an amazing job. Please contact them. And again, for some of the negative things I talk about, there are some amazing stories of community members coming forward to donate items. It's very inspiring. For donations, go to Emergency Network Los Angeles. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Assistant Chief Dominic Choi from the Los Angeles Police Department.
Okay, good morning. I want to start by just assuring everybody that our primary focus still remains the safety and well-being of our residents. These fires have caused significant disruptions, but we are working tirelessly with our partners to protect lives, property, and secure critical infrastructure. So as of this morning, LAPD has in the city 266 officers deployed to the Palisades fire. We also have support from our National Guard partners who have deployed 200 soldiers assigned to the incident. We're very grateful for their support. We also have dedicated resource investigating our missing persons reported. So at this time, as of this morning, 6 a.m., we have a total of 26 people reported missing in the city of Los Angeles. 17 of those individuals have been located safely. 9 of the 9 remaining, 2 most likely were found in the fires deceased, but they haven't been positively identified by a coroner's office yet, so those are still waiting to be identified. 1 individual, we believe, is located safely in a shelter, but that person, we're waiting for confirmation on that. There are 6 that remain unaccounted for, and we're diligently trying to identify and locate these people. So in total, in the city of Los Angeles, since Tuesday when these fires occurred, we have 3 fatalities. Again, 2 were found in the fires, and 1 was a burn victim that was transported earlier this week to a hospital. That person later passed away. If you want to make a missing persons report, you can do so either in person or over the phone. You can call any one of our 21 geographic stations and make that report, or you can call our missing persons investigation unit directly. I'm going to give you the number. It's 213-996-1800 and select option 3. That telephone is manned 24 hours a day currently. As of this morning, the city of Los Angeles, related to the fires, has a total of 14 arrests, 3 for curfew, 1 for impersonating a firefighter, 1 for possession of burglary tools, 4 for burglary, 1 for DUI, 1 for felony vandalism, and 3 for shoplifting. As the sheriff just mentioned, it's not just for looting or burglary that you're going to jail or curfew. If you're in the area, you don't belong in the area, you will be stopped and questioned, and whatever crime is being committed, you will be held accountable for that. So please stay away from these evacuation areas. Regarding escorts, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but we tried to be compassionate and put together a team to escort residents to their homes to either retrieve small pets or their medication. But that line became exceedingly large, and it was causing more problems than solutions. We have halted this escort service for the safety of everyone involved. Currently, we don't have any timeline of when we're going to open up that service, if at all. So please be patient with us. We know you are waiting. If you are still waiting at any of these checkpoints to be let in or escorted, please do not wait there. You will not be let in or allowed to have an escort at this time. Also, another important reason for stopping these escorts is because we have search operations beginning. Over the next 48 hours, we'll be working alongside LAFD Search and Rescue, our ATF partners, as well as the LA County Coroner's Office throughout the burn areas, giving priority to those people that are reported missing in these burn areas. From there, grid search will take place that could result in crime scene preservation and then recovery of remains. We hope that the high volume of resources dedicated to this effort will expedite the process. And as many of you know, the dry conditions and winds increasing, it's possible that evacuation orders may increase. I know overnight we saw some of the evacuation orders turn into warnings, but we can absolutely see some of these areas increase to mandatory evacuations again. So we urge you, please heed these orders. It can save your life. And as we also previously mentioned, identifying the cause of these fires is critically important to all of us. In conjunction with our partners and led by ATF, we have created a Los Angeles Regional Wildlife Investigative Task Force. And while their work is still in the early stages, we're committed to identifying the cause and origin of these fires, and we're also committed to holding anyone who's responsible for these fires accountable. And to further protect the residents of Los Angeles, in the city, our curfew is also still in effect from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. In short, if you don't belong there, don't be there. In closing, I want to reiterate that our department and all of us standing here this morning are with you. I want to express my deepest gratitude to the firefighters, our fellow law enforcement partners, and volunteers who are putting themselves in harm's way to protect our communities and help people recover. Their bravery and dedication are truly inspirational. We are also grateful for the patience and cooperation of our residents during this difficult time. We know this is not easy. Thank you and be safe. At this time, I'd like to introduce Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman.
Thank you. With firefighters literally putting their lives on the line to save lives and to save homes, with law enforcement working around the clock to keep security at a high level, with over 200,000 people evacuated, and I'm one of them, and with people who have lost lives, lost homes, lost businesses, there are still people in our community who, rather than saying thank you, look at this as an opportunity to commit crime and to take illegal profit and advantage over the situation. We've seen this come up, and you've heard law enforcement describe the arrests that have been made, whether those arrests are for looting, burglary, grand theft, whether those arrests are for arson, whether those arrests will eventually be for price gouging, because we have been seeing price gouging with hotels, people offering residences well above the 10% addition that they can charge. We've seen that with medical supplies, other types of supplies, price gouging going on. So the criminals have decided that this is an opportunity, and I'm here to tell you that this is not an opportunity. You will be arrested, you will be prosecuted, and you will be punished to the full extent of the law. At 2 p.m. today, we'll be holding a press conference to announce the first charges in a looting case and the first charges in an arson case. This is not an arson case tied to the major fires. It was an arson case that was done on the side, in essence. You will hear that these people who've committed these crimes are facing very significant sentences. I am working with over 750 deputy district attorneys and in the entire law enforcement community to bring these people who are despicable and disgraceful to justice. And we're not only going to see what's happening right now in connection with bringing stability to our community, whether it's, again, going after the looters, the arsonists, or the price gougers, but we're starting to see the criminals emerge who are going to go after the recovery efforts. These are people who are contacting people and pretending to be GoFundMe operations to help people who have suffered. And GoFundMe, by the way, actually is an excellent organization that has put in place protections that if you use their site, you can use it safely. But these are people who are creating fake GoFundMe sites. I tell people to be very, very cautious when you give your money away, to check out the organizations that you're doing it to. I applaud anyone who wants to donate to these causes, whether with money or services, but make sure that they are going to the right operations. Again, you can go to Emergency Network LA, that's enla.gov, or you can go to recovery.lacounty.gov to see the types of operations that you can have confidence in. And we're also going to see scams coming up with insurance proceeds. We're going to see scams coming up with government benefits, because we are going to literally have billions of dollars come into Los Angeles County over the next months and years. And for the criminals who view this as an opportunity, let me again give you this warning, an absolutely unmistakably clear warning, that if you go ahead and you want to rip off people and the system and governments that are trying to help the people who have suffered from these tragedies, you will be arrested, you will be prosecuted, and we will seek maximum punishment against you. I hope that I'll have the opportunity to tell you at a later point that this warning has been heeded, that deterrence works. Because if we are going to actually have the stability and the rebuild, it's going to be based on everyone contributing. But for those who don't want to heed this message, the warning has been cast out there, and the warning will actually have teeth behind it. I'd now like to introduce Los Angeles Board of Supervisors Chair Catherine Barger.
Thank you. As I discussed yesterday, FEMA relief is essential to getting our impacted residents back on their feet. Today and yesterday, FEMA staff have been at 7 county libraries, plus the Alhambra Library, providing support to individuals who are seeking FEMA relief. Tomorrow, these services will transition to centralized assistance centers, one at Pasadena City College and the other at UCLA Research Park. These centers will be in-person venues where all impacted individuals can receive direct support for FEMA's assistance program, which helps residents access lodging, essential items, and other large financial needs. You can visit recovery.lacounty.gov for all the details. And I would encourage everyone listening to go to one of these sites, because I was at Pasadena Convention Center, I know Supervisor Sleece, you were as well, and I saw people handing out cards. I don't know who they are, I don't know who they represent, but people are looking for an opportunity. At these recovery centers, you will have legitimate government officials who are going to work with you to make sure you receive the benefits you deserve. I want to thank FEMA for their continued support for our impacted residents. Our residents need this support to begin rebuilding, and believe me, after last night's meeting that I attended with my constituents, they are desperate. So many residents I've heard from, especially those without insurance, are concerned they won't receive enough assistance to rebuild their lives. On top of FEMA assistance, I'm going to be advocating for innovative loan and housing solutions to bring people back to their communities. People need help, and they need to know what kind of support they're going to receive. Last night, I joined hundreds of impacted victims in Pasadena to hear their stories, understand their needs, and to discuss what comes next. Many wildfire survivors I've met, spoke with, have repeatedly told me they're worried about the rebuilding process. Specifically, many have mentioned that they are eager to begin clearing debris and seeing what valuable possessions survived this devastating fire. I want you to know that yesterday, the governor issued an executive order to streamline this rebuilding process. This executive order is going to make rebuilding homes easier by cutting red tape and make it as affordable and efficient as possible for our residents to clear debris. Yesterday's executive order, along with the previous order to waive the CEQA requirement in rebuilding, are 2 unprecedented actions that will be essential to making our community whole again. I know that our wildfire survivors want nothing more than to begin the rebuilding process, and it is our job in government to get out of the way. Our neighbors deserve nothing less. To all the residents in our county, we must maintain diligence over the next few days as winds increase again. Please listen to law enforcement and their evacuation notices. And believe me, I heard last night, many are frustrated. These next few days are crucial in our fighting of the existing fires and also preventing any new fires. Thank you for taking it seriously. I'd now like to introduce LA City Mayor Karen Bass.
And you've been watching a press conference out of LA County. Officials there giving an update on the fires still burning out of control in the LA County area. Just to give you kind of an update on the fires that we're looking at, the largest fire is still the one burning in the Palisades area. It's called the Palisades Fire. 23,000 acres have burned so far. That fire is currently 13% contained. We're also looking at the Eaton Fire, that one burning in Altadena and Pasadena area. That one currently 14,000 acres have burned so far, and it is 27% contained. The other fire, the smallest of the 3, the Hearst Fire, that's at 799 acres, and that is 99% contained. I want to go back to this press conference we're hearing from LA Mayor Karen Bass. Here's what she had to say.
As these winds approach, LA City firefighters and firefighters from across the county, state, and nation, and even overseas, are in a proactive and strategic posture to save lives. Firefighting resources from LAFD and fire departments from all over are positioned in strategic holding locations. DWP is deploying water tankers to augment water supply for firefighters. The emergency operations centers remain activated at the highest level to rapidly coordinate emergency response. As we prepare for more wind, we're also urgently working to provide people with much-needed resources. This week, as Chair Barger said, our city and county will launch in-person local assistance centers that are tailored to those affected by specific fires. These local assistance centers is for Angelenos impacted by the Palisades and Hearst fires, and they will open at the UCLA Research Park, which was formerly known as the West Side Pavilion. It will operate from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week. These centers will help people who have lost vital records like birth certificates, driver's license, Social Security documentation. They will help people who've lost their homes or businesses apply for disaster relief loans, and they will provide referrals for mental health counseling and other services. We anticipate that there will be representation for over 20 city departments. There will be representatives from the state and federal departments and agencies. Later today, we are also going to be releasing policies on the city level that will help with the rebuilding process. So as we continue to go through these next few days where the fires are still a serious threat, we also want to begin to help people put their lives back together and to prepare to rebuild our city. I also want to again remind Angelenos that lacity.gov is now a one-stop shop for assistance for those who are impacted and a place to help Angelenos find a way to get involved. As the winds pick up, please stay safe. Please heed the call to evacuate should you receive that. And remember to heed all public safety guidance. Thank you.
And that was Mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, giving an update on some resources to help people impacted by these fires. Again, 3 major ones that we're looking at right now. The Palisades fire, that's the largest. The Eaton fire, that's the second largest. That's burning about 14,000 acres. It's 27% contained. And the Hearst fire, that's about 800 acres and is almost 100% contained.